What are persuasive communications, or communications that have the intent or purpose to persuade others? Well, it's generally the act of presenting arguments or information that moves people or motivates a change in your audience. So that's what persuasion is. You're trying to effectuate some level of change towards an objective or towards an opinion or towards a position, okay, if you will. So the most common types of persuasive messages are arguments, or your delivery of your side of an argument, and sales messages, things that are trying to induce individuals to take a buying course of action, if you will. Now, normally persuasive messages are structured in an inductive manner, meaning that you state your case, you provide support for your position, then you provide your objective statement or your summary or your position on the piece. You do this to avoid stating your objective or position up front, because this will oftentimes alienate others. So you need to support your position before presenting it so that you have some level of buy-in, some level of common understanding when you do finally state your objective statement. So it generally meets with less disagreement or less argument. Okay. Now, a persuasive communication can be explicit or implicit. An explicit persuasive communication simply communicates its intent. You are attempting to bring somebody around to a different position or point of view, and you are stating as much. Implicit is when you are saying something or presenting information in a way where the information itself implies that you're trying to bring someone around to a given point of view or position, but it's not actually stated that this is the position I want you to take. Okay. Now, there are 6 generally accepted principles that give rise to a level of persuasiveness. And oftentimes a persuasive communication will adopt one or more of these elements in order to effectuate its intent. One, reciprocity. This is where you try to get someone to give something to you because you have given to them. That is, they act to you the way you act to them. Okay, so they're reciprocating in whatever you give and whatever you receive from them. Okay, scarcity, that is, you are creating the sense that there's a finite quantity of something and thus it is valuable, so people want it. So if you create that perception that whatever your position is scarce in nature and thus valuable, it'll increase the likelihood that other people want to assume that same position or understanding. You can demonstrate authority. If you have the respect and authority of others, it can be actual authority through your position, or perceived authority through your knowledge or otherwise social status or something of that nature, whereby people are more likely to respond to your point of view because of that authority. Commitment and consistency. If you are committed to a position for a long period of time and you don't waver at all, your certainty or the confidence you have in your position can also give rise to a level of acceptance from others. Okay, demonstrating a level of consensus among many people. That is, you are assembling what appears to be a common understanding and presenting that to others. If you can do that, others are more willing to accept that common opinion. And then liking, that is, people are more willing to respond to whatever your message is, whatever the information you are delivering, if you demonstrate some level of similarity. And that goes into whether they like you or respect you or are accepting of you. So basically it entails likability, but also elements of similarity and common understanding, because people are more likely to respond to individuals who have commonalities to them. Okay. Next, what is the persuasive communication process? Well, generally you're going to try to do 3 things. You're going to try to stimulate the other person towards action. You're trying to make them aware and create interest in whatever you're saying. And then you're going to try to convince them, that is, present enough facts and information or positions, align your position such that they are willing to go along with it, they accept it. Okay, and then some call to action. whatever it means for them to be convinced, for them to take action consistent with that. That is, whether they admit that something is the truth, whether it is they accept a position that you're taking, or whether they buy your product. In sales, the most common method or approach is the AIDA model, which is creating awareness, developing interest, which is all part of stimulating. You are then generating desire, which means they are convinced that they want the product, and then action, right? The call to action, actually taking the action of purchasing the item. Okay, but that's just for a sales message. There are many different outcomes you can hope for or expect from a persuasive communication. That could be adopting your position or point of view. It could be deterring someone for taking a course of action or undertaking a position. It could be convincing somebody to discontinue a course of action that they're on, or otherwise continue a course of action or undertaking that they're a part of. Or it could simply mean that you're trying to open up somebody's mind to increase their openness, empathy, consideration of a position or point of view. So these are the general results or outcome of the persuasive message. So in summary, this is what is a persuasive message. This is how it's used, how it's structured, and what you hope to get out of it.